Hey guys, this is another video about the days from the Secret Language of Birthdays book. We are going to go ahead and do April 12th and get that done. By the way, tomorrow is the full moon in Libra, April 12th. It's representing a closing out, like an official closing out of the previous nodal axis when it was in Aries and Libra was the south node. So the themes were about individuality and others, our partnerships versus us, how we identify with other people, and are we happy? Like, what do we want in our lives? What do we desire? What do we seek? What are the goals that we have? And do we have someone that, do we even need someone? You know, it's like those themes are coming up. There's going to be a lot of closing out of old cycles, saying goodbye to some people, but then there's also going to be some relationships that are revamped, that are restructured, that are kind of almost having like a paradigm shift in a way, right? It doesn't necessarily have to mean that everything is ending, right? It could also mean that things are just shifting in the way that we perceive it, and going forward, it's kind of moving past the past. So it's more of those themes. And oddly enough, Venus is going to be going direct around the time that the full moon is happening as well. So it's very symbolic. Anyway, April 12th, it is the day of societal awareness. And that's actually, that goes in line with Moon in Libra as well. Society, right? Others. This is going to be from April 12th is from 21 to 23 degrees of Aries. It's in the third decan of Aries, and it's a cardinal fire sign, of course. Born on this day, we have Henry Clay and Dennis Banks. And we have David Letterman, Pete Rose. Pete Rose, oh my gosh. That guy brought a lot of drama into baseball, didn't he? Like, I think they took him out of the Hall of Fame because of his gambling and stuff. I remember that. But he died like recently, or it was like a year ago or something. I will never forget. If you guys don't know the picture of Pete Rose sliding into into home base, it's hilarious. Like his face, and he's just like diving head first. The most dangerous thing to do, but it was called the Pete Rose dive. Funny. He played on the Cincinnati Reds. Herbie Hancock, Tama Janowitz, Robert Delaunay, Alan Ochburn, Ann Miller, Lily Pons, Jane Withers, David Cassidy, Scott Turow, Marietta Tree, Georges Franyu, Eleanor Gluck, Joan Marshall Kelsey, Hardy Kruger, Warren Magnuson. Those born on April 12th seem to always have their antenna out, sensing the public mood. Their social talents are impressive, not necessarily in terms of relating to individuals, but rather in understanding, defining, and exemplifying in their own conduct the best of their society. Unquestionably, April 12th people love to be the center of attention, but for those who are highly successful or prominent, the attention garnered is often tied in with benefiting people whose hopes and dreams they personify. A big problem for April 12th people is defining themselves as individuals. That's very interesting, being an Aries and having a hard time defining yourself. Since they are often preoccupied with group or social matters, it may be difficult for them to get to know themselves at a deep level. Because of this lack of self-understanding, less highly developed April 12 people can get into a great deal of trouble. not only social, but also financial and legal. More highly developed April 12th people recognize the dangers posed by such a lack of awareness and will seek to overcome this deficiency. Whether they write, speak, or simply act as the spokesperson for colleagues, friends, or family, April 12th people are never happier than when they are putting forward their point of view, communicating with their fellow human beings who hopefully are listening. It is indeed tragic to see an April 12th person speaking to a mostly disinterested audience. It follows that they must choose as their friends and mates individuals who are not only good listeners, but also share their concerns. Many April 12th people have what amounts to an insatiable interest in current events, and for some, commenting on the state of affairs can be equally important to them. Consequently, the danger exists that they will become judgmental personalities or victims of the judgment of others. For this reason, it is very important that they pull back periodically from life's busy course and find a quiet place where they can objectively examine not only their observations, but also their own inner processes. In the private sphere, those born on this day must avoid reacting rashly, particularly in anger, to the acts of loved ones. To retain their equilibrium, they should learn acceptance and objectivity. Otherwise, they can drive themselves and others crazy with their inability to leave things alone. A saving grace of April 12th people, however, is a fine sense of humor. The capacity to laugh at themselves once in a while goes far in softening their harsher side. April 12th people will never want to be far from where things are happening. Whether they live in the city or the country, they may be found in group activities of all kinds. The most highly advanced April 12th people will invariably be called upon by others to negotiate, mediate, or simply discuss deals, from horse trading to plea bargaining, and to bring opponents to the table. Often they are experts in the rules of games, law, or social conventions, and are sought out for their advice. Some numbers and planets for April 12th people. Those born on the 12th of the month are ruled by the number 3 and by the expansive planet of Jupiter. Those ruled by the number 3 are often ambitious, even dictatorial. Since April 12th people are generally intent on mediation and compromise, ambitious tendencies such as these can cause great conflicts for them. The Jupiterian drives of the number 3 give April 12th people a highly expansive and optimistic attitude in their thoughts and endeavors, but the added influence of Mars can indicate hot-headedness and overconfidence. Hold on one second. The 12th card of the Major Arcana is the Hanged Man. And let me get that card for you guys. It's actually the card of Pisces, or that's what it's known as, the card of Pisces. If I can find it. There it is. It's the Hanged Man. Who dangles by his foot in a head-down position. Though he seems helpless, the Hanged Man is nevertheless spiritually powerful and deeply thoughtful. The positive attributes of this card are recognizing limitations, problem-solving, and human qualities. Negative aspects are spiritual myopia and restrictedness. Card of Neptune. As far as health goes, generally, April 12th people are blessed with a healthy constitution as long as they do not abuse it with nicotine, alcohol, or other drug addictions, or simply neglect the essentials of sufficient sleep, exercise, and a healthy diet. Well, that goes for most people as well. Optimism can easily lead to carelessness, and carelessness to illness. The primary requirement for the good health of April 12th people is that they find a quiet and well-balanced place inside themselves where they may retreat. As far as food is concerned, April 12th people like to eat with others. Viewing a meal as a social experience, they too often forget about what is on their plate, focusing on conversation rather than the joys of eating. Generally, the meals of April 12th people should be flavorful and hearty rather than overly restricted or health food oriented. Should be flavorful and hearty and stuffed with a bunch of over-processed foods and sugars. Just kidding. But not. Advice is gain confidence at a deep level. Don't be too hungry for attention and appreciation. A mark of insecurity. Realize your limitations. Beware of putting yourself above the law. The meditation is denial of what happens, slows down the process of self-discovery. Strength, socially aware, articulate, diplomatic. Weaknesses, over-involved, frustrated, and self-unaware. And that is the description for people born on April 12th. Peace out.